Hello, welcome to Divine Downloads. I'm your host, Cassandra Bodzak, and this mini Divine Download is all about this Aries full moon, which I really feel is a cosmic turning point for all of us. And before I dive into that, I do want to let you know that if you haven't picked up my book Manifesting Through Meditation is available wherever books are sold. There's 100 guided practices to harness the power of your thoughts and create the life you want. And I hope you'll check it out. If you love this podcast, you're going to love the book. And it's a really, really powerful tool to divinely design your life. And so check that out. And if you have checked it out, please leave an Amazon review. It helps me so much. And without further ado, let's talk about this Aries full moon. I know this is a bit of a last minute um, solo cast, but I've been back to back with clients, and this Aries full moon is so powerful. I'm just seeing client after client and client, and even in myself, how we are at this precipice. We are at a massive turning point. The things like the blocks that I've been releasing and reprogramming with clients the past couple days have literally been these very massive boulders in their way to attracting or living that life that they desire. And it's happening in all different areas of the chart. But I can tell you that the area that it wants to happen for you in is the one that's coming up, is the one that's kind of painful right now, is that area where you have this perhaps an overwhelming desire to experience something or to attract something or to have something, and you're feeling stuck. And I know if you're listening to this, you've probably already done a ton of work. Maybe you've gone to therapy, maybe you've done clearing work, maybe you've done tapping, you've looked at the underbelly of this, right? I know that that's my people. However, what this is bringing up, this Aries full moon, is really showing you what you need to handle to turn the page. And so I had a couple clients today that when we looked at the belief and the event and the feeling that was creating this pattern and this blockage, it was something that they thought that they had worked through already. But when we went back there, when we really got clear on, wow, this is what I want, right? And it's as simple as this, right? This is the thing I want the most right now. This is the thing I desire the most with my heart right now. And asking yourself, okay, what is stopping me? What is in my way of receiving that, right? What are the beliefs or the stories that I'm telling myself? And this Aries full moon, Aries is this like it's the pioneer, it's action, it's ruled by Mars. It's a really powerful full moon, and I feel like it is this kind of full moon that's like launching you out of a cannon in a way. And really it can be really uncomfortable. I know some of the things that have been coming up for me have been so incredibly uncomfortable, but also things that I can see so clearly why they're coming up right now and what's on the other side of them. So this full moon, as full moons do, are usually a time of releasing. However, I think what we're releasing now is pretty big. It's something, like I said, that has been a massive boulder in our evolution, a massive boulder in our happiness or our divine life creation process. And we are finally, that Aries energy is giving us that energy to literally push the boulder out of our way and really have that turning point that I think a lot of us are going to look back on this October, and especially this moon and the events that are happening around this moon, give or take a week on either side of it, as a time, like one of those times where we say there was before that happened and that's after that happened, right? And it's going to be a really big shift, right? A new version of us that's going to emerge after releasing this thing that we had kept as part of our identity that really wasn't serving us, right? And so the best thing you can do for it is honor whatever's coming up, show up to do the work, show up for whatever the releasing of that looks like for you. Um, and know why it's coming up and why it may be uncomfortable or painful or funky and not fun to deal with is simply because the the flip side of it is going to be so rewarding, right? There's so much gold on the other side if we can release this thing that's coming up for us right now that is no longer part of our identity moving forward, right? Is not going to fit into our expansion. And so, you know, with it being in Libra season, we're looking at relationships. So this could be, it is essentially the ending of one relationship and the beginning of another. But that doesn't, and it may be literally that for some people. So you might literally be ending a relationship, but also it's the ending of our relationships to different things in our life. So it could be the end of having one relationship with money and the beginning of having a different relationship with money. It could be the end of having one relationship with your body and the beginning of having a new relationship with your body. The end of having one relationship with God and the end of beginning a new relationship with God. It could be having one relationship with your day-to-day life and your house and how you do things around the house, and then having a new relationship with that, ending one relationship dynamic with your parents and having a new relationship dynamic emerge from it. So when we say relationships, a lot of us jump to romantic relationships. And even in, some of my clients that are manifesting their romantic relationship partners, one of the things that's coming up for a lot of them right now, it's not about ending a specific person or relationship. It's about ending their relationship to finding a person, right? And transforming that relationship. So I want you to think about that in the context is what, that thing that's coming up for you front and center right now, what does that relationship want to shift into, right? What's not serving you? What's not helping you, to that next step? And where does that want to go? Because I really do think we have an opportunity for a big turning point right now if we're willing to sit in the muck, if we're willing to look at these things that are not fun to look at sometimes. And it's going to be varying degrees for everyone else. So for some people, it might be a very seamless shift. For other people, I think for a lot of us, because it is something that I feel like we have a lot of baggage around, something that a relationship that has probably been non-ideal for a long time is finally coming to a head. And what was the word I've been using? I've been using this word this week and I'm forgetting. A reckoning. That's what, that's the word. It's a reckoning in an area of our life where we're really having to, pull up the carpet and look at, what's been hiding underneath and take some action. Aries is all about action. And so it's taking some action or whatever that looks like for us to release that, to get to the other side of it. And to step into, as we come out of this full moon, to step into, that new direction we're on, right? A turning point is like we were headed in one direction based on our beliefs and our stories and what we believed was possible for us. And then something by releasing this boulder is going to shift us and allow us to make a turn and have a whole different trajectory in our lives, and especially in that area of our lives. But we know everything's holistic, right? So any one area we have a breakthrough in, we have a breakthrough in all of the areas, right? Because by us elevating, our belief around relationships, it also elevates our belief in other areas of our life. It elevates our vibration. By us altering our belief around our career, again, it elevates everything else. So especially with these kind of big, I just kept getting the image of boulders, but these like big boulder kind of belief things. When we're able to excavate a boulder, there's a lot of spaciousness. there's a lot of there's a lot of openness there, right? For possibilities, for flow, for abundance, for a different experience of that same journey, right? And so I'm really excited for this full moon in Aries, and I hope you guys are too. And like I said, this is a moon where I don't think it's going to be subtle. I think you're listening to this and you probably already know the topic that's coming up for you. And remember that Aries does like action, right? It's ruled by Mars. It wants forward momentum. So asking yourself, what are when you're asking, like, what can I do to honor this full moon? I would not only like reflect upon what is this belief, what is this story that wants to be excavated right now, that's ready to release at this turning point for you in your life, but where did it come from? And to do whatever work you have, like with my clients and in the process, the tools that I use are like bilateral reprogramming. We use tapping, we use AIT, we use all different kinds of kind of energy shifting techniques to release that. But doing something um, to to bring the awareness to where it came from, and to add the awareness and the consciousness of your present day self to that consciousness and that awareness that is frozen from that time in your life where you adapted that belief, right? And have that reckoning of what is the truth. The great meditation for this in manifesting through meditation is the divine truth test. I really recommend them. You can also do meeting your inner saboteur or the full moon meditation. I think all of those from manifesting through meditation will be really helpful for this moon and as you're moving through it. And even there's a reparenting meditation in there that I think will be relevant to a lot of you who receive these beliefs from your parents, to help you go back and reprogram that as well. And just show up for it. I think that's the best thing I can say is show up for it, get your hands dirty, and then start taking uncomfortable action that in the direction of expansion, right? So if you've had a belief that you can't make money doing a certain thing, or you have to make money a certain way, or it's hard to make money, right? I challenge you to ask yourself, well, what actions can I take that are like fundamentally contrarian to that, right? The actions and the thoughts and the words that create your life have naturally sprouted from your current belief system and your current stories. And so we're really comfortable with them, even if they're not ideal. They feel cozy to us, right? And so in these times, we want to get uncomfortable. We want to say, okay, well, what feels cozy to me is doing things this way, but that's not working for me and that wants to be released. So how would I act in this situation if I believed I was worthy? How would I act in this situation if I believed I was divinely supported doing the thing I loved, right? So we want to ask ourselves and we want to get into action on it to take advantage of this like Aries burst of energy that we are going to have right now. And then solidify ourselves on the flip side, turning the corner, right? So we solidify ourselves through our actions and through our deeds on the other side of this. And who are we now without this story? Who are we now without this belief, right? And like I said, this is going to be a big one. I think it's a little tumultuous for a lot of people right now, but it's because there's a massive change and massive growth and shift available to showing up for what's coming up right now. So I want to encourage you to lean into it and trust that it's for your highest good and your highest expansion. And let me know. I love hearing from you and how it's coming through for you. So feel free to come over to Instagram and say hi, or leave a comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. And also have a link below. I've opened myself up for 2 new one-on-one clients. I have some space if you're looking to dive deeper with a spiritual mentor leading into the new year, and you can apply. And if you're a good fit, we'll reach out and we'll set up a little chat to talk further. So thank you for listening, and feel free to share this with a friend so that you can talk about what's coming up for you on this Aries full moon and support each other in turning this amazing corner.